In essence, this time brings you to a point of choice. We will see humanoid robots, androids, walking on the streets. A creature that looks like a human being but is not alive is a living dead. Humanity is defined by the society as kind of robots already. This definition of a human being as a member of society will no longer work. AI will replace a vast majority of human labor. This is an opportunity to awaken more to what we are, who we are. Because of stuff that has been happening over the past 10 years or so, more and more people are rejecting the artificial zombie land. All this, what I have said so far, you can discuss with AI, and AI will mostly agree. Hello folks, and welcome to this episode of my channel, exploring meanings and mysteries in today's world. To start with, let's make a couple of things completely clear. This person that you are looking at now and listening to is the real Veli-Martin Keitel, that is me, not a digital copy of myself. Also, all the content in this video, in all my videos, is created by this real person, not by artificial intelligence. And this is not to judge artificial intelligence, but to make a clear statement that, in my viewpoint, it is important for real people to make real performances and real content. Another thing to make clear, that all the content on my channel is based on a holistic view of the world and of humanity. And this means that human beings are not just physical, biological beings. So essentially, human beings are souls who are expressing themselves in this materialistic, dualistic world through the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual bodies. And when you look at the phenomena and the topics and themes of today's world from a holistic viewpoint like this, things look quite a bit different than from a merely materialistic point. Now, let's move on to today's topic. And let's first address this concept of zombies and a zombie land. What do I mean with this? Well, we are used to see living people speaking, talking, singing, providing us information in the internet, and particularly in videos. But this is no longer the case. In fact, quite a large part of videos you see today, not just on YouTube but elsewhere as well, are no longer living people. Rather, they are creatures that look like living people, talk like, behave like living people, but are actually dead. Because they are created with dead, lifeless technology, imitating humans. So this is the state of the art today, but we know that during this year 2026, the mass production of androids, so humanoid robots, will begin. And probably within a couple of years, we will see humanoid robots, androids, walking on the streets, working in the office or in the factories, etc., that at least from a distance will look completely human. A creature that looks like a human being but is not alive is a living dead. And in other words, we could call them zombies. And again, this is not a judgment, this is just an observation. What you hear constantly when you watch podcasts about the advancement of artificial intelligence is the concern that AI will replace human beings. Well, from a holistic point of view, this is complete nonsense. It would mean that zombies replace living human beings. A dead technology cannot replace something that is alive. The very purpose of our existence as human beings is to be alive and conscious, self-conscious, conscious about each other, and consciously seek for the understanding of our place in the universe, and to learn to live in harmony with the universe, with life, with other beings, with nature. All this is inaccessible to zombies, to artificial creatures. How could they replace us then? What a human being truly yearns for is a true, real connection to another true, real being. But a human being is a part of nature, and we also yearn for a contact with other creatures of the nature, whether it be animals, landscapes, flowing water, rustling wind in the leaves, seeing the clouds move on the sky. This is all alive. This is all based on a living creation. I'm not saying here that using artificial tools, using technology is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But where the world is going now is to create artificial human beings, the living dead, which you so often already see when you watch videos over the internet. The very saying that we have a soul is actually backwards. It is not that this physical being here that you are now listening to has a soul. Rather, it's a soul that expresses itself through a visible vessel, which is the body. So the soul has a body, not the body having a soul. So if you discuss the possibility of an artificial intelligence robot attaining a soul, it only works properly if there is a soul that chooses to express itself in the body of an artificial creature, an artificial body. But now let's face it, from this holistic viewpoint, we don't just have the spiritual body and the physical body, we also have the emotional body and the mental body. And in today's world, AI and AI-based robots only can express the physical and the mental. and even the mental is not self-aware. Possibly it will be, but at the moment probably is not. Another thing to realize is that these statements that AI will replace human beings is based on the concept and ideas of humanity from the past few millennia. Humanity is defined by the society as kind of robots already. Robots serving the system, producing labor to the system. This has required people to work in conditions and in jobs that they don't want to do, that is not natural for them to do, to be contained in an artificial box, whether it's a factory or an office, and to do work on an assembly line or with a computer where the work is not to give you directly satisfaction to your human needs and desires. We have been accustomed to think that the role of a human being within a society is to act as a pawn to the system, whereby you earn credits, money, so that you can buy the continuation of your life within that system. What is now happening with AI and other automation technology is that this structure, this component, this definition of a human being as a member of society will no longer work, because AI will replace a vast majority of human labor. And this is actually a good thing, because it will mean that we human beings can liberate us to live the actual human life. But then we will need to step away from the society that will be run by zombies or by zombie machines for zombies, for people that maybe are not devoured in the flesh by the zombies, but are devoured by the zombies in spirit. Their souls, not their souls, but their connection to their souls, to the soul aspect of their being will be devoured, and is already being devoured by artificial creatures, artificial values and norms. Curiously, all this, what I have said so far, you can discuss with AI, and AI will mostly agree with this, especially if we speak in the context of a holistic worldview, of the idea that human awareness, human self-consciousness is not based on biology, but is based on consciousness on a spiritual plane. So, in essence, this time brings you to a point of choice, to step into the zombie land that is marketed to you every day if you follow the internet and the social media. Do you choose to partially absorb into this reality using artificial clones and artificially created content to attract clients and to grow your business? Or do you choose to redirect the course of your life towards not just returning to a natural way of living that was before the introduction of AI, but to go much further into a natural way of being a human being than you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I see this is an opportunity for conscious, aware people to awaken more to what we are, who we are, and AI, artificial intelligence, artificial human bodies, human minds, simulated human emotions and feelings, acts as a mirror for us to see that this is an artificial creature and I am not artificial. And then you can learn to make the difference between the two, which is not a difference that you can anymore make, at least in a couple of years, with your eyes and ears, or even with your touch. You will have to make the distinction through your heart and through your soul, through your higher awareness. So this is an opportunity to become more aware, to enhance your sixth sense, whatever you call it, your intuition, your gut feeling, your heart feeling. And in this sense, this development may be a blessing for you and for humanity. And my wish is, and my optimism is, that now, because of stuff that has been happening over the past 10 years or so, more and more people are rejecting the artificial zombie land, and instead start to build a society amongst them, each other, that is based on true human values, through encounters between true, real, physical souls on this earthly plane of existence. I thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please share it with your friends and with your networks, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again with other topics exploring meanings and mysteries. Until that, take care.